What is going on, everybody? Welcome over here to the channel. Today we kick it off with episode 26 of the Montana Cattle Ranch series. So sit back, relax, smash that like button, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget we are doing a giveaway. Information in the description below. Let's get to it. What is going on, everybody? So today we kick it off on April 1st over here on the Cattle Ranch series. And after selling off all our digestate and electrical charge and I can't remember what the third one is off the top of my head. We sold all that was produced from our BGA, and that put us up to $338,000. Not quite as much as I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought it was going to be quite a bit more. But it is what it is. We'll take it. I was really hoping for more. But we're going to go ahead and do a sell-off of some of the stuff we're sitting on. We had quite a bit of eggs. And that's another 38,000 with the environmental score. So not too bad. And then we have a lot of cheese that is still being produced. But right now all our fabric is ready to go. I was gonna say, if I can remember how to get it out. I thought, wait, what? Okay, that's kind of weird. I thought we still had what was it? Canola oil still in here, but there's that. Okay, and then we're still sitting on 98,000 liters of milk in here, so we should end up, it's going to take a while to go through all this milk, and we may end up putting in another dairy, just because I have a feeling we're going to produce so much of it. I feel like it's not a bad idea to get another dairy production going. I think that's kind of the smarter move, and that's only going to bring more money to our pocket faster. I think it'll be worth the investment in the long run. Now, where to put it, I'm not sure. But let us sell off this cheese. And that did it kind of weird, but I'm not even going to try to add all that off the top of my head. I'll just say we're up to $414,000 after that. And then let us go ahead and grab our fabric out of here. Sell this off. I do that every time. And I wish there was a way to just bring all that out. Did it do it that time? Not quite. Almost. I still don't think it took it all out. No, it did not. I think because the fill area is full. Let's go ahead and pull the rest of this out. There we go. This right here should be a nice chunk of money, though. Now, we still have all our beer, and that production goes very, very slow. It goes a lot slower than I expected it to. I think our barley will be ready to harvest again before it's all produced. So we got another 156,000 plus an additional 9,000 off the fabric. So we will count that up as a win. And since we're talking about the beer, let me go ahead and go to the factory just for a second. So we've got 25,000 liters left to sell, and then additional 35,000 liters of barley left over. And when are we going to be harvesting our in 2 months. So it may finish it all up within that time period. So it kind of gives us a good idea as to how many or what fields that we can dedicate to just barley and how much it's going to go through in a year. I think if we continue to do those 2 fields that we have been doing barley in, we shouldn't have an issue at all. But on another note, I know I've been talking about selling the Big Bud, and I don't think I'm going to now. I think I found the perfect use for it. And once we get to the ranch, or get back to the ranch, I will show you what I'm talking about. But I think it's going to be absolutely a perfect use for this. You'll see just here in a second. Alright, I'm going to make you wait just a little bit longer to find out what we're going to use it for. We got to feed the cows. All that feed that we put into their barn last month is pretty much already gone. I forget how many liters we had in there, but they definitely went through over 30,000 plus liters in just a month. So, yeah, we're definitely going to have to be producing a bunch more of TMR. They're starting to go through this at a much faster rate. Okay, that is dumping YM out of the tractor. That's cool. But, yeah, they are burning through food. We've got 178 cows in here. It's still not completely full. And they're going through that much a month. That is kind of crazy. This is only going to get crazier once we actually fill this barn up, I have a feeling. I think I'm going to want to buy a new... I think I'm going to want to buy a new grass field here before too long. So that way we can fully take care of them. Otherwise, I think once the beef cattle start to really ramp up, we're going to have a hard time with just the 3 fields that we have. And as much as the alfalfa field has been treating us good for income, I'm kind of thinking that we may change that to a grass field as well. I'm not 100% sure if that's a good idea or not yet. We do have a lot of income sources coming in now, so it's not necessary a must need to be doing alfalfa bales. I think we may just go ahead and get rid of that field, turn it into a grass field, and call it a day. Because we're gonna need as much TMR as we can, so we're gonna have to be producing hay and silage. Now I know a hay dryer or an alfalfa hay dryer just came out, but we really don't have the room on the ranch to be using it, unfortunately. And I don't think there's an option in our hay dryer for alfalfa. There is another model, I think. I would have to check, but I think there's another model that is a hay dryer, and I'm kind of wondering if that does alfalfa hay. Because if that's the case, we can actually keep that field, but it is what it is. But let me run around to this corner here, and I figured that the new seeder we've got will work perfect with the Big Bud. And this should pull it with ease, no problem. And, you know, I think it's a perfect match. I was going to get rid of it, but now I'm kind of glad I didn't. Now, one thing I do have to do here is we have to wait for our wheat field to finish harvesting before we can actually start making seed. Hello, mailbox. But I am all out of seed, and we're going to have to fill this thing up. Is it going to really make me fill up the fertilizer? sometimes it makes you do that, and then before you can even touch the seed. But it is what it is. It's only $4,000 for the fertilizer, not a big deal. But now our seeder's completely filled up, so that's good. But this just looks wonderful in my opinion. I think the Big Bud and this seeder were meant for each other. Now I could be thinking different here very soon, depending on how well it pulls. But right now I think it's literally a perfect match for this seeder. Alright, let's unfold this thing. And I don't think I'm going to do auto steer. I think I'll just go kind of do my thing how I typically do. Everything is looking good there. Let's fire up the seeder. And let's get to planting. I hate that it does that. It says you don't have access on this land. However, like, there's not like another field you're planting into. I don't know, that's kind of goofy to me. Oh yeah, this Big Bud pulls this nice. I think it pulls it faster than the John Deere does. Eh. 14? 15? Okay, we're climbing. I was going to say I changed the suggested working speed on it just to kind of see what it'll do and how fast it'll pull this planter. And it looks like it's doing it pretty well. Now if I could get that steering right and like, I don't know if you guys notice when I do seed my fields, I have a hard time of like swinging the seeder in the right direction that I need to go. I don't know if it's just me or does anybody else do that. Like they'll go to turn, make that turn, but then you overturn, and it just doesn't work out the way you want it to. I have a feeling it's gonna give me an issue here. I could be wrong. See, why is it that I was able to plant there, and my planter's hanging partway on the road, but then when I first started it gave me an issue? It's very goofy. Yeah, see, I overturn this thing all the time. But it's such a big piece of equipment, it's kind of hard to keep it where you want it, I guess. Yeah, this is absolutely awesome how quick that this Big Bud pulls this seeder. It does it so much better than the John Deere. There we go. I thought it was going to do it again and skip the beginning of the seeding process there. Hold up. Oh, it's the tram lines. I'm like, why do we have tracks in the, or weeds already in the field? But it's because of the tram lines. I wonder if I should just get rid of those because I'm not using them. And I wonder if there's actually a way to get rid of them. You know what? Let me take a look here. I think it would be here in precision farming. Clear you? No. Huh. So it says nothing is selected. So we go to tram lines here. Nope. Tram line with, we don't want any. Okay, maybe you can't get rid of them? I'm not sure. If anybody knows how to get rid of the tram lines, comment down below. Because I really don't have a use for them being on. Because we don't have field destruction on for this playthrough. But it would be nice to be able to know how to get rid of them. Just because, you know, They don't even need to be there right now. So if you do know how to get rid of them, let me know, please. That would be awesome. Or would I have to plow up the field to get rid of them? Now it's got me wondering if that's the case. I wonder if I could just plow them up and it just gets rid of them permanently. Like, they definitely have their place, but when you don't have crop damage on, I don't feel like it's necessary for them to be on. And now it just looks goofy with all these weeds here and lines. There's so much oversteering going on right now. Every time I like swing this thing to turn, I overdo it. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy I decided to hold on to the Big Bud until I found a use for it. I feel like this is the perfect setup for it. Now, if we had to plow the fields a lot, I would definitely be using that for this. But we really don't have much use for the plow or to be using the plow. So it kind of takes a big use out of this tractor away. At least in my opinion. If anybody else uses the Big Bud for anything, what do you guys use it for? Like, it's kind of unfortunate that it does not have a PTO, and that kind of takes a lot of the usage out of it. But I can understand on certain playthroughs that people do that it definitely has its use as like a plow tractor, and now, you know, in my case, a seeder. But like, what other uses do you use the Big Bud for? Is it? I'm pretty sure it's mainly a tillage tractor or a planting tractor. At least some of the actual videos that I've looked up of the Big Bud, that's what people use it for. But what do you guys use it for in Farming Simulator? And there we go. We got this field all done. That took no time at all, really. Like I said, I am ecstatic I actually held on to this for this. I don't know why I didn't think about using this tractor for this when we first got this seeder, but it is what it is. We've finally figured out a use, and I'm happy. I'm here for it. I don't know about you guys, but this tractor is just so iconic to me. I'm such a huge fan. Such a cool looking tractor. There's a guy I watch on YouTube, and he's been doing a complete rebuild on a Big Bud, and I've been fascinated with that project since he's been doing it. It's such a cool tractor. Although he doesn't have the double duals on it, I think he's just running single tires on it, but it's still such a cool project to be doing. Now I'm curious as to how hard it's going to be to get this planter back into the spot. Shouldn't be too bad on this side. I think I got enough room to... Oh yeah. Easy peasy. I'll tell you what though, our semi-trailer collection is starting to get pretty big over here. What do we've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different semi-trailers? That's kind of insane. And let's go ahead and park this thing back in the barn. Really don't have any other use for it. And I'm gonna check the map out really fast. Close that door. I think our grass fields are ready to go. Yep, so is our alfalfa field. They're both ready to be harvested. But I don't think I'm going to be doing that this episode. I think we will do that next episode. But I think that's what we're going to call it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. We will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.